Today in this video, we will be showing how platelet-rich plasma, so-called PRP, is prepared at Sri Ramakrishna Pain Management Center, Shastamangalam, Trivandrum. Thank you. This patient is posted for a rotator cuff PRP injection. In this, we can see the phlebotomist painting the right elbow with 10% betadine. Before doing the phlebotomy, the patient is pre-oxygenated with 5 liters of oxygen so that we get a oxygen-rich plasma. Now the phlebotomist is withdrawing 2 ml of ACDS solution in a 20 ml syringe, and in that syringe 18 ml of blood will be withdrawn from the patient. Now phlebotomist is withdrawing 18 ml of blood from the patient's cubital fossa into the 20 ml of syringe containing 2 ml of ACDS solution, and by shaking the syringe he is thoroughly mixing the blood with the ACDS solution in it. That what you see is Dr. PRP kit. In this test tube, the aspirated blood will be put. This procedure should be done very carefully. This test tube has got a negative pressure. While filling the test tube with the blood, you have to see that the lower chamber fills first, later on the upper chamber. Due to any reason, if the upper chamber is filled, then all the procedure will fail and you have to take another test tube. You can see the procedure, how carefully the phlebotomist is putting the blood into the chamber. The machine has started. Now on the display you can see 4 modes. First is the pre-cooling mode, second is the separation mode, third is the concentration mode, and fourth is the set mode. Press F1 button, that is a pre-cooling button, and the centrifuge will start rotating at 2800 rpm for 5 minutes. At the end of the procedure, the chamber temperature will be maintained throughout at 20 to 22 degree with an humid environment in the chamber. Pre-cooling is complete. Now inside the chamber, I can feel the temperature is low, might be around 20 to 22 degrees, and it's humid. Inside the chamber, you can see 4 buckets. Into one bucket, saline-filled test tube is put, and just to the opposite bucket, blood-filled test tube is put. The saline-filled bucket will act as a balancer for the blood-filled test tube. Next is the separation mode. When F2 is pressed, you can see 2 signs. One is F representing female, M representing male. For F, it is 2800 rpm, and for M, it is 3000 rpm. You see a bar button going. When the bar button reaches the other end, that means the default rotation for males it is 3000 rpm as achieved. And from that time, the countdown starts for the separation. Now the separation is completed. That time the machine gives an alarm. The chamber is opened, the test tube is taken. You can clearly see that in the upper chamber the plasma is there, and in the lower chamber RBC is there. The part of the lower chamber on the top you have plasma along with the buffy coat. Below the test tube you see a plunger. This plunger has got a diaphragm which is inside the lower chamber. This plunger is first pulled down so that the diaphragm is brought to the level between the plasma and the RBC separation according to the requirement of buffy coat or not required. Then the plunger is pushed so that the plasma along with the buffy coat is pushed into the top chamber. After doing that, the lower part there is a screw which is tightened so that they don't mix it with each other. After that, The test tube is again put back into the bucket along with the balancer for concentration. For concentration, press F3 button. It will take 6 minutes for concentration to occur, and rotation speed is same as that in case of separation. After concentration, you can see in the lower part of the upper chamber there is a blood tinged plasma, which is a buffy coat containing WBC and platelets. Supernatant part has lesser platelets and no WBC. Now, with the help of an assistant, the upper cap of the test tube is removed and a 10 cc syringe with a 18 gauge needle is pierced into the upper chamber. The needle tip should never go below into the buffy coat area. With this 10 ml syringe, the supernatant plasma is withdrawn and is collected, and the needle is left behind, and another 5 cc syringe is connected to that needle, and the needle is again inserted more down so that the tip of the needle lies into the buffy coat, and with the 5 cc syringe that whole of the buffy coat is aspirated. When you are going to put into the knee joint for osteoarthritis, this buffy coat is avoided. Only the supernatant plasma is put into the joint space. Whereas in myofascial or muscle injuries, it is a buffy coat which is more helpful.